Hey everybody, I'm coming making this video message to tell you, stop letting people drain you. Let me tell you what the definition of drain is. Now, honestly, there are a few definitions of drain or draining, but the definition I am referring to just means to deprive of strength or vitality. And vitality also falls under the umbrella of just having strength. It's just having energy. It's just having strength. Now, so many of you are going to experience at some point or another in your life people who will drain you. And for those of you who could be in a situation right now where there are numerous people or there is one person who is draining you, you need to begin to pray against that. Now, when you are in a position where there is not a lot you can do, and you come across or have to live with or deal with someone who is draining you, it could be a spouse, it could be a friend, it could be a family member. And if you live with them, okay, let's say you live with a family member. I'm not talking about having a spouse now. I'm just strictly talking about a family member or a friend. And they are the type of person who drains you. They drain you with their issues that's going on in their life. They drain you with gossip and bones that they are bringing to you about other people and their life or their situations. If you are in contact with an associate or a neighbor and they seem to dump all of their emotions, all of their drama, all of their anger, and they have all these unwarranted and uninvited opinions just about different things, and you sit there and you begin to find yourself that every time you sit and have a conversation with them, that you feel drained once they leave you. You feel like you cannot move on with your day. You feel sick. You feel tired. You feel sleepy. You feel overwhelmed. You feel irritated. I am telling you now, you need to pray against that spirit. Now, some people in the world we live in now, they have, like I always like to talk about, they bring up a lot of new names for old situations and old things that have been going on probably since the beginning of time. So now, in this new world and people falling under the modern category, they don't even say drain or draining anymore. They will call the people who do drain them a narcissist or a narc. That is a name that a lot of people use, and I don't want to open up that door and dig into that because that's a very big, large topic, honey. So we're not going to go there with that. But I'm going to just keep it simple, and I'm going to let you all know you got to stop people from draining you, because when you are in the presence of someone who drains you, it wastes a lot of your time. It steals the day from you, and you find out always coming in contact or surrounding yourself with people who are draining you, you sometimes forget how to take care of your business. You sometimes forget something that you were supposed to do. And sometimes you will even take on that mindset and attitude or even spirit that that person has. You guys have to dismiss and remove yourself from situations with people who drain you. And I know this is going to be difficult for some of you all because you may have a mother who is draining. Your mom might be going through some stuff with her husband or your stepfather. Your mom may be going through some things at her job, or she's a single mother and she doesn't have a lot of friends, or she doesn't have anybody to talk to. So she calls you on the phone and she lays all of her issues, all of her concerns, all of her anger, and all of her rage on you. And I know, you being the beautiful son or daughter that you are, you don't want to reject your mother. You don't want to hang up the phone on her. You don't want to ignore her text messages. You don't want to abruptly leave and leave her hanging. I know how some of you all feel when it comes to your mother or your father, but you have to, like I told you before, put yourself first. Your mental health, what you have to tend to in your personal life, and you fighting to keep a positive outlook on everything. When you have your own battles, this stuff starts to get shaken up and disturbed when you allow a person or people to constantly drain you. You have to start making people go to God. You have to start suggesting certain things. When someone is draining you, you need to say, hey, listen, I understand you dealing with a lot, and I am your listening ear, and you know I love you. But why don't you start using a diary or a journal to jot down how you're feeling today? Let me pray for you. Why don't you come up with a solution so you are not stressing out over what's going on in a situation that you're coming to me about? However that looks for you all, I'm just simply telling you, you cannot continue to navigate through your life allowing people to drain you. You cannot keep allowing your boss at work to drain you. The boss is always asking you to work on the weekends, and you know you have other obligations. You know you have family members who are having engagements. But because you want to please that boss, or you feel like in the future it's going to get you at a higher level, you do it. But when you're done with the shift, you're mad at yourself. You're not getting the appreciation that you feel you should get. The boss is draining you. And every single time they need someone to do a double, or they need someone to do overtime, there are people who are favored by the boss, but they will tell their boss no. But when it comes to good old you, you always say yes, but you feel drained afterwards. You have to cut it off. If you have that mother, that father, that cousin, that brother, that auntie, or that uncle who comes to you with all their issues and all their problems, or they're even questioning you about how your life is set up, and after the conversation is over, or after you leave, or after you replay it in your head, you are feeling drained. You are like, oh my God, 4 hours was just stolen from me. I haven't even went grocery shopping. I forgot to pick up my baby from daycare. I forgot to meet my kids at their school because they had a play today. This video may not resonate with a lot of you, but I know for a fact it will with some of you all, because there are people who carry that draining spirit. And they don't care about what you have going on. They don't think about being considerate of your time, your mental health, and where you are emotionally. Let me tell you all something else, that people who carry this draining spirit, what they do, they will drain you because of how your life is set up if it makes them uncomfortable. I personally have experienced this. They will begin to constantly question you about why you don't like to party. They will question you about why you don't like to go here, or you don't like to go there. Or they'll say, you're always in the house. Oh, you're too young to be in the house. Why don't you go out? Did something happen to you? Is something going on with you? In their mind, they don't feel like you sitting at home, eating your favorite snacks or watching your favorite show is normal. They feel like you living your life like that. That's abnormal. That's weird to them. And they will still try to dig and dig and dig to find out why you live your life this way, because they are not accustomed to that. They are accustomed to partying. They are accustomed to drinking. They are accustomed to smoking. They are accustomed to hopping on the scene for every invite. They are always available. So when they come across somebody like you who lives a quiet, peaceful, private life, you irritate and agitate them. And if you find yourself in a position where you are constantly explaining yourself and your walk with Christ, or your quiet, private lifestyle to someone, and you are getting irritated, or you feel drained in your body, in your mind and in your spirit. You need to remove yourself from that person or those people who are draining you. Who am I talking to? You continue to deal with different people or that loved one because they are constantly draining you in some way, shape, or form. Some of you all cry tears because you allow people to dump everything on you like you're a garbage can. In this season, stop people from depriving you of your strength and your vitality. Cut it off. I'm not saying be mean. I'm not saying be cruel. I'm not saying be rude. But you are going to have to learn to get around these types of people. As far as married couples, if you have a husband or you have a wife who drains you because emotionally they are at a certain place, you need to start praying with your spouse. Unresolved issues from childhood, deception that may have entered your marriage because they had an affair, they opened some type of door, they're spending too much time with their friends, or after work, instead of coming straight home, they're going out to the bar, they're going out to the club, they hang with all these different people, and when they come home to you, they're draining you with all those people, problems and issues. They bringing all the gossip to you and all the tea. This stuff can get draining. It can get draining. So in my video message, I'm telling you all are going to have to start praying. Not only pray for yourself and that God protects and keeps you from people who drain you, but you're going to have to put your foot down and you're going to have to set boundaries. And you're going to have to come up with a resolution and a solution on how you can get around and avoid draining people. Don't let your boss drain you. Don't let your cousin drain you. Don't let your best friend drain you. I'm not saying don't be available when people want to talk. I'm not saying don't be available when people want you to be that shoulder they cry on. I'm not saying don't be available to give people advice. I'm not saying it. But when it's a constant repeated thing and you are losing time and you are neglecting your home and you are neglecting your children and you are neglecting your health and you are forgetting to run certain errands, and when you leave their presence, you're finding yourself crying. You're finding yourself being overwhelmed and stressed out. Your blood pressure is getting raised. Stop people from draining you. If you have to live with a person or different people who are draining you and they are questioning you and they're trying to kick up on your territory because you live in the same house with them, change the subject. When they come to you trying to drain you, when they come to you trying to argue with you about, hey, why you doing this and why you doing that, and I think this happened to you, I think that's why you don't do this, this, and this, change the subject. Politely excuse yourself. You guys have got to set more boundaries. This is a season where God is doing so much. He's doing good things and he's doing things that are not so good. But if you fall under the category where God is transforming you and he's about to pour his blessings out on you, or this is your season for marriage, or he's bringing new friends in, you can't be drained, sweetheart. You can't be drained, sir. Put your foot down. Draw a line. Cut it off. Excuse yourself. Remove yourself. Come up with another plan of action. You have got to fight for your peace. You have got to fight for your sanity. Where your home is and your mind and your spirit, it has to be a safe haven. That's the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have been offended by anything I spoke about in this video message, it's all right. It's okay. I am not concerned about it. I am not worried because I know you will forgive me in the morning.